All right, we're back. We read 28, 29, 30. It was certainly a thing.
We had a lot more fun with these chapters than we have in a long time.
Did we?
It's not back up to the quality that we want it to be, but it's certainly better than what it has been for a while. All right. Are you ready to start reading?
Yippee!
All right, so we begin chapter 28 with a flashback. So we are now getting all of the recon that they did on the storehouse before the last few chapters. So the last chapter was ending with the fact that the auction is now starting. So this chapter is starting with going back about 12 or 16 days. I can't remember the exact time. And so now we're at the start of them doing all of their recon of the storehouse. Chihiro and Shiba are talking about the fact that it's definitely not a real place. It extends infinitely above and below. It's pretty, like, not real world physics. So they're busy talking about that. So they call over Hikari. I don't remember his last name.
Hakuri.
Sazanami.
Yeah.
Hikari Sazanami. And he's playing with Char and Hinao, and he gets hit in the head with a ball. He runs over, and then Chihiro starts asking him about, like, hey, how does the clan head get passed down? Since our old plan was to kill your dad and then have you take over, we now need to know, like, is there any problems with that plan? And the problem with the plan is, when his grandpa died, passing on the clan leadership to his father, they went to the bottom of the graveyard in order to do a ceremony in order to pass it on. He wasn't there, so he doesn't know how it works. So now Chihiro and Shiba are talking about the fact that, oh yeah, so the plan of killing the dad and hopefully the power passes on to his kid probably won't work. And since the place doesn't work on real physics, it is also now a large possibility that if he does die, it actually will destroy the storehouse. So they're talking about the fact that he probably wasn't bluffing. 2 days pass. So the flashback was November 4th. We're now still in a flashback, but 2 days forward. So it's now November 6th. And now Chihiro knows that there's a door in the storehouse, not connected to anything, which is really weird because all of the auction items are either in cages or in storage boxes, except for the weapons that he knows that the two have teleport to them by the father. So it's weird that there's a random door that doesn't have it's not an auction item. And another weird thing is people enter and exit all the time to feed the slaves and care for the products inside, but they don't use the door. They just get teleported in and out. So there's just a door in the storehouse that nobody uses. So he draws a picture of the door and shows it to Hikari, and Hikari looks at the door and goes, oh, wait, that's a symbol that's on the bottom of the graveyard where the ceremony to take over the leadership happened. And so then we cut back to present time where the chandelier that is above Chihiro breaks and falls down, and so it's dark. And the leader of the Sazanami clan figures out, oh, Chihiro's here. That's good. Now we get to kill him, and the sword will have way more price on it than usual. Then we get a diagram of the base of, there's the above ground part that has all the guards outside because only 3 people can go down, so the rest of the group stays above ground to guard. Then you have the underground, which is guarded by the Sazanami clan and the people that they pay to guard the underground. And then below that is the Sazanami clan graveyard, in which has the secret door that leads to the storehouse, which is behind a bunch of locks and a big door. And so then we cut to the leader of the Sazanami clan telling all the guards, hey, Chihiro's here, kill him, you'll get the 50 million yen. And what he doesn't say out loud is, and I get billions because I'm selling an unattuned sword to people. And he's like, oh, this technically doesn't break the rules of attacking our sellers because the ownership of the sword changed hands before I decided to sell it, blah, 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 blah. Shiba teleports into the car with Lightning Hero, Thunderbird, Brain, Child, into the car. So Hinao, Char, and wow, those two are certainly characters, are now in the car with Hikari. And so Hikari and Shiba are going to teleport through to the basement while Chihiro is breaking down the front door and making a bunch of noise. We don't know what their plan is yet, but we will soon. Then we cut to Chihiro, and he's talking about the fact that even though Cloud Gouger is broken, it's still an enchanted blade. It's just a lot weaker than it was before. Which is now... Oh, sorry, we'll talk about it at the end. And so then people are surprised about lightning, and then they go, hey, kill him. And so now the only light in this entirely dark room, because they broke the chandelier, is the sword, which he's using to kill them. So once they start talking about all we need to do is just target the light source, he throws the sword in the air, which he's no longer holding. He kills everyone, and then the lights come back on. Chihiro looks up, the chandelier is now fixed, and there are 4 sorcerers on the ceiling. And then the wall explodes, and Hiyuki, the flame ash bone chick, is here, and that's the end of the chapter. What do you think of the chapter?
It was kind of annoying that it started with a flashback, then went to a flashback that wasn't as far back, but it did explain a lot of stuff that was pretty important. One thing I want to say real quick, a lot of this stuff I don't get when I first read it, so it's really helpful to read it again and hear you explain everything. Because, like, I didn't understand that, oh yeah, the lights are still off, and that the lightning is the only source of light and all of that. So, you seem to have a better eye for details, and it helps me understand the story a bit better. We did find out that is actually Cloud Gouger. He did actually break it. So that person that we saw a while back with the suitcase,
whatever.
I guess they didn't actually take it.
The reason it's weaker is because it's a fake. Just to be clear.
Of course.
I'm still correct.
We're never going to see that person again.
No, never.
They were just a background character. Anyways.
Oh, a background character? Sorry, did you mean Char and Hanao?
Oh, no, a different background character.
Oh, okay.
Background character in the background.
Oh, okay.
I think overall, I'd give it...
Literally set dressing.
Maybe 5.5 or a 6.
Okay, above average. All right.
Also, I did like that whenever we saw them in the background, they don't have faces.
Of course not. That'd take work. All right.
What'd you think?
I'd give this chapter like a 7 or an 8. I really liked it. One big problem that it has, the reason why it's not like a 9 or a 10, and also probably why it shouldn't be a 7 or an 8, oh god, they're doing a thing that a lot of people get accused of like, we keep raising the stakes and we keep creating new problems. Like, oh god, how do I explain this? Cell Saga of Dragon Ball. We start the Cell Saga with Trunks showing up, and oh my god, Frieza's coming back and Goku's not here. How are we gonna deal with him? Oh, Trunks is here and he can go Super Saiyan and kill him. Oh my god, the androids are here and they're gonna kill everyone. We killed the androids easily because they weren't actually the androids. Oh my god, the real androids are here. What are we gonna do? They trained so they're way stronger than them, and now there's a bad guy called Cell. Oh my god, we're strong enough to defeat Cell. It's so Vegeta lets him turn perfect. Oh my god, Perfect Cell is unbeatable. How are we gonna beat Gohan goes Super Saiyan 2. It's just, like, you keep introducing new things that make the goal impossible, and then the next chapter you go, by the way, entirely new concept that was never brought up once, or entirely new concept that we're confirming and making, like, way deeper, is now the perfect answer to the problem. Like, we decided to make the storehouse a subspace. We were thinking about it before, so we didn't confirm it. But now that we've confirmed it, there's now a door that just lets you walk in that no one can stop you from taking. It's just, I'm really enjoying it. It's just, I don't like this specific thing that they're doing. All right.
Yeah, that's fair. I'll give you that. I don't really have... Yeah. I'm just talking to talk.
That's fair. Hanao and Char, I mean, you don't have to have every single character you ever introduce pop back up and be a main character. Like the blonde kid at the very beginning of the story, there's no need for him to like pop in and talk to people. But man, Hanao and Char are like a part of the main group, and they really don't have voice lines anymore. They really are just in the background throwing a baseball with each other.
Yeah, they're just having fun.
God. The art in this chapter is insanely good. Most of the
Yeah.
reason why it's a 7 or 8. It's the when the lights are off and everything's dark and the only light is the blade. It's really cool contrast. I really like seeing all the people like getting split in half. It's the same kind of fight scenes that Kagurabachi always has, and I always enjoy when it's just like a stomp rather than two people fighting against each other, because then they have to talk, and I don't like people talking in this story much, as I've noticed. The random sorcerers that get introduced hanging off the chandelier, they certainly have character designs, and that's all they are.
He got fuckered up teeth.
And then the chapter ends with
The Bone Ash Girl.
Hiyuki bursting through the door going, yo. So that's neat.
I think she's cool.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a quick question?
Yeah, what's up?
If I didn't give the story a 6, would you have given it a lower score?
No.
Okay. Because you do this thing where, like, I give a score, and then you're like, I would have given it this rating, but you already gave it to it.
No.
You've done that a couple of times.
If you give something a 3 out of 10 and I think it's a 3 out of 10, I'll give it a 3 out of 10.
Okay.
I just have reasons of why I think it's above and beyond all the other chapters that we've read so far. It also just does really annoying shit.
Yeah.
If it didn't do the annoying shit, this would be really, really good, but it does the annoying shit.
Yeah.
All right, chapter 29. So we begin with 2 guards guarding the Sazanami clan talking while they're in the seats. Oh, so I'm so sorry. These are 2 government agents in the chairs talking. These are the 2 people who have been ordained to... They are the Shinuichi bidding team from the Kamunabi. So these 2 are the people who are going to bid and buy the Shinuichi. And they're talking about blah, 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 moral ethics, blah, blah, blah. Is it bad that we're giving money to the people who run the underworld when they're literally at this auction right now selling people? And then the whole concept of like, oh, moral relativism. If we buy the Shinoichi, we're saving 1 million lives. But if we buy a slave, we're only saving 1. We got to think about like where best to use our resources. Then we cut to Hiyuki. And then we get another flashback of Shiba and Chihiro talking about like, oh, why are you going to break down the door while we sneak in? You're the one with your name on every poster. Why aren't you sneaking in? And then it's like, oh, well, if I go there, then the government agents are going to be there, which means Hiyuki's going to be there. And I can definitely talk Hiyuki off the ledge since I don't have the sword anymore. Yep. All right. And then they start fighting each other, which just so happens to kill a bunch of the people in between them. And then they get teleported into a sumo ring. Did you know that the deal that was made to create the sumo ring was these 2 fighting?
Yeah.
You didn't know that?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought that was funny. The sumo guy is holding up a guy by his neck, just kind of chilling there. Once that guy gets knocked out, it's going to break the sumo ring, so they're all allowed to talk without being in danger of other people attacking them. They start talking about the fact that you have Cloud Gouger, and it actually is broken. He didn't lie before. Then we get a cut back to all of the Mafia people saying, oh my god, they're gone. Where did he go? And then Hiyuki starts talking about the fact of, I can't believe you let these bastards get the sword from you. Now we've got to take you in so that they can't activate the sword and give it to people we don't want to have it. And then Chihiro's like, is this an arrest or are you protecting me? Hiyuki's like, I really don't care what you want to call it. If you resist, it's an arrest, sure. And then they start talking about, oh, well, I mean, I'm sure you have a reason for giving them the sword. And Chihiro's like, yeah, I'm using it to scout out the storehouse so I know where it is. I know how to break in, so I know how to save not only the sword, not only my sword, but the other sword, all of the slaves and everything else that makes the Rakazuchi run. And Hiyuki's like, don't care, didn't ask, I want the sword, and I want you to be where we can protect you. And then Chihiro goes, oh, but the morals of it, there was a kid here whose bigger sister is going to be sold at the auction. Don't you care about the people the government is meant to protect? Are you going to just let the Rakatsuchi go on? And then we get cuts of flashbacks from the sumo guy's perspective of like how Hiyuki was fighting and screaming with the government agents up until the point they left to go because she didn't want to let the Rakatsuchi go on and she hates it. But the second that they got here, suddenly all she cares about is the mission. And so Chihiro keeps going on about like, I know you're not a bad person. You're definitely going to help me save these people. Why are we like wasting time with this? And then she starts bleeding from her forehead. I don't know why. And so then we move on. And then Hiyuki goes, fuck it, whatever, I don't care. I'm done with this mission. This mission is stupid. I'm done with this guy. This guy is stupid. I'm done with the enchanted blades. I'm done with the Rakatsuchi. I'm destroying it all. Fuck it. And so then the sumo guy goes, hey, by the way, I want you to know, she agreed to team up with you. The second that we get the sword back, we're going to kill you because she doesn't want you alive. And Chihiro asks the sumo guy, are you good with that? And he goes, if you're dead at the end of this and we get both swords, no one's going to care about what I do. And then Chihiro says, all right, cool, thanks for explaining that to me. The sumo guy knocks the guy he's holding out, so it breaks the sumo ring. They teleport out, and then Chihiro runs to the back room while Hiyuki is standing in front beating people up, and she says, you won't touch him. There's not a lot of extra information here. I did pretty much explain everything that happens. It is just three people standing across from each other, just saying exactly what they mean. And Shiba's in flashbacks, and it starts with government agents saying what they already said. This is like the third time they've explained why they're not buying slaves and instead are buying the enchanted blade.
They gotta remind you that the government is looking out for the interest of the many and not the few.
Uh-huh. What do you think of this chapter?
3. It was just a lot of exposition. Well, no, I'll give it a 4. Because I did like the very few bits of fighting. I thought it looked really good.
This panel's pretty cool.
That panel is really cool. But it just seemed like they could have cut out a lot of the talking and just been like, hey, I'm going to get the sword, I want to team up. Yeah, okay.
They spent 3/4 of a chapter convincing Hiyuki about something Hiyuki already believed in.
Yeah.
That we get in a flashback that she changed her mind about believing in it for like 10 seconds and then immediately believed in it again once Chihiro explained himself.
Yeah. So, it's just kind of an annoying chapter. One detail that I think is kind of neat is that every once in a while when he's using Cloud Gouger, he puts the sword in his mouth and then, like, uses his hand to shock people.
Yeah.
And I thought that was neat.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I get that she's crazy, but why...
Why did she start bleeding?
Why did she start... Like, it's the wound that she got from him hitting her in the head with the backside of the katana. I know that. I know that's what it's referencing, but, like...
I didn't really remember that.
Yeah, because it's literally in this chapter showing that she got hit. They're never going to do something and not immediately explain every part of it, because then you wouldn't understand. She's bleeding here. And then, oh god, there it is. That was when she got hit in the forehead with the backside of his blade when they fought for the first time in the sumo ring. And the annoying kid got knocked out, so it broke the sumo ring, so they ran away.
Okay.
All right.
Why is she bleeding again?
Because her morals have come back.
Of course.
And she's crazy. So you give this chapter a 4 out of 10?
Mm-hmm.
I give this chapter a 4 out of 10. It was less than average.
Up top.
Like barely less than average. It has cool panels. I wouldn't call them fight scenes. They were cool panels.
Yeah.
They talked a lot. They explained stuff. As I said, the government agents at the beginning of the chapter explain stuff that's already known about the government and the Kabunabi. And then the second half, or the second 3/4 of it, is explaining to someone who already believes what's being explained. Again,
annoying.
All right. Chapter 30. All right. So we start this chapter with Shiba saying that he's going to go to the underground and take care of them. Who's them? It's the two, obviously. I don't know why he just didn't say he's going to take care of the two.
I think it's pronounced the toe.
I don't care.
Okay.
And so we get an explanation of the fact that during the Rakatsuchi, the Toe, who are the 4 guards, all sit on the corners and beat the shit out of people who want to try to steal things from the auction. But this year, they're not there. And the Sazanami clan head goes, it's fine. I'll be the one who has to kill the people. It's not that big a deal. It'll just take more effort. So the 4 guards are down in the basement protecting the door that leads to the graveyard that has the door that leads to the storehouse. All right. The frog and the log and the well at the bottom of the sea. And so they explain once again, they're guarding the door because the door is the only way into the storehouse because the door is the door that the door is door. And then they go on to explain, oh my god, someone might break in this year because they have information they never have before because it was all locked in the Sazanami clan. But now someone in the Sazanami clan has been captured by outside forces. Oh, you mean Chihiro? You mean Chihiro might break in? That's what?
Whoa.
And then they explain, yeah, because he's got Hikari, so they would have the information. And then, oh, he's absolutely correct because he's smart. He just starts explaining stuff that he has no way of knowing. Like, oh yeah, he gave us intel so that he was able to sense everything inside the storehouse to make a plan in order to break in, and that's how they know about the door. Just randomly. And we're going to get an explanation later that he's actually the smartest person ever. It's just he's stupid when he sees his brother. Yeah. So that's why he was correct. I was trying to figure out why he was so smart here. They explain it after this, that he's super smart. Now they're saying, oh yeah, Chihiro's here, by the way. And it's like, oh my god, we got to protect the door. And there's a guy who can teleport, so we got to be prepared for that.
And then they also say, wouldn't that mean that Hikari is here too? Nah, there's no way he would come. He's a useless coward. He's just
but the smart guy didn't say that, so he's obviously wrong.
He's just a pussy. He wouldn't do that. He's too scared.
So then we get a scene of the smartest guy in the room staring directly at the door, and then his little brother peeks out, which is the background image of this video, and then immediately sprints away. So the smartest person in the room leaves, leaving only 3 of the guards, and then he's chasing him, not using sorcery in any way to get him back. And then the last 3 guards are like, oh, Hikari was here? Well, shit. If he's chasing someone, then it's definitely him. And so Shiba's at the door behind them going, ah, fuck, the door's locked, I can't get in. So they turn around and see him, and then we get a flashback to explaining why Shiba made the plan of Hikari going downstairs and baiting the bigger brother away because they don't want the smartest tactician in the room and an Isui user, which is manipulation of force, in the room while the other 3 people are there because Shiba would have would take too much time defeating all of them. So then the plan is he's going to go downstairs, bait the big brother, and then run back up to the surface. So he'll meet with Chihiro because Chihiro will be on his way down. And he's in his own head like, oh my god, I'm finally being useful. I'm a part of a plan for once. I'm so excited. And Chihiro's at the top of the stairs while Hikari is at the bottom of the stairs. They're running towards each other. And then suddenly, after Chihiro kills 3 guards, a bunch of trees block off the path, and now they can't see each other anymore. So Hikari starts catastrophizing in his own head. He got caught by his brother, and the brother's like, "Oh my god, you came to see me. Oh, they're so evil. They're obviously mind controlling you. Don't worry, I'll kill all of them, and then you'll come back, and it'll be great." And Hikari is like, "Oh my god, there's a tree. I'm useless again. I can't rely on them always to fix all of my problems. I have to stand up for myself here. I have to be the samurai I was always meant to be." And his eye starts glowing, and he says, "It's time to take you on. I'm here to defeat you."
32 seconds earlier.
They're joking, but they're joking. Anyway, we get the same scene from Chihiro's perspective, where Chihiro is running through, killing the guards, and as he kills them, the roots start sprouting up. He looks through the roots because, oh my god, the plan was to meet up and protect him, but now I can't protect him because the wallet... Hold on.
Holding on.
What's on that guy's hand?
Oh my god.
Is he a guy who killed my dad? Well, this is a problem. So, Chihiro is now locked in a room with a broken cloud gouger and a dagger, facing someone who killed his father, while on the other side of a wall is his friend who's gonna get the absolute shit beat out of him, and the entrance to the place where he actually wants to go. So we'll see in the next few chapters if his morals are stronger than his need for revenge, or if he can even stand up against this guy, because this guy is really strong, because he's the part of the Korigami, because he has the mark on his right hand.
I like how Chihiro is like covered in lightning right now, and you can even see it sparking out of his eyes.
Yeah, that's a
so
cool
I'm wondering if he's like biting down on the broken cloud gouger to like absorb its powers or something, or like infuse himself with
He was
lightning.
accepted as the user of the sword. Infusing your body with Mei is like a thing you can do with it. Because Sojo did it.
True.
You don't have to bite it to do that.
And then why is he biting it?
Easier, I guess.
Because his right hand is broken, and he can use his left hand to like infuse his dagger with the electricity.
Yeah. Alright. What do you think of chapter 30?
It's one of those classic, oh man, here's a big cliffhanger for the big payoff. We've got all of this stuff set up for all of the important characters. You'll find out next time. Because, like, we see Shiba at the door with the 3 people. We see Hikari at the roots with his brother, who's going to beat the shit out of him, because that's how he shows love. And we see Chihiro on the other side with the guy that won some of the roots, and also the guy that killed his father. Maybe. It's not definitively the guy. Anyways.
His dad's dead.
Yeah, I know his dad is dead. I'm just saying that might not be the guy that killed his dad.
No, his dad's dead.
But yeah, I'm going...
Oh, you can even see it here. Yeah, you can see it on every panel that he's in.
Oh, yeah. I would give this chapter a 6.5 out of 10.
Nope, no halves. It's either a 6 or a 7.
Okay.
Choose.
I will give it a 7 because I am optimistic that the next few chapters are going to have big payoffs or big fight scenes or something. It's going to be exciting, and it's not going to be like 5 minutes later, oh, what a tough battle.
I was wrong about the fact that Shiba was going to beat the shit out of the older brother before he has a confrontation with the little brother. So I'm upset about that, because I'm always supposed to be right, and I wasn't in this case, so that pisses me off. So I have to give this chapter at least a 1 out of 10. In actuality, I give this chapter like a 5. It's incredibly average. Stuff's going to happen. Nothing happens in this chapter. As I said, half the chapter is the people in the basement explaining stuff we already know. Again. And then we get cool scenes. And we get little details that are fun, like the guy who has the tattoo. His tattoo is visible in almost every scene that he's in, but we never see his face, which is neat, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not much to say about this chapter, because, again, it's just a chapter where everyone says exactly what they mean, so giving a recap of it, you pretty much got all the dialogue.
I will agree that it is like average. I would have given it a 5, but because I'm optimistic about the payoff that I expect to show up, I will give it a higher rating.
Oh my god, what if the next 3 chapters are just flashbacks to what Char and Hanao are doing in order to help out? Oh my god.
Don't do that.
Oh my god.
Do not force it.
Because Char is gonna have the other half of the blade, and she's gonna be like infusing it into her body. Oh my god, it'll be so crazy.
Do you see how I'm angry right now? I'm angry at you.
Oh my god.
You're not allowed to do that.
The next few chapters are gonna be crazy. Alright, if you made it 30 minutes into this video, and you're really liking where we're going with this story, be sure to like, be sure to comment, and be sure to subscribe. We hope you're having fun with us here.
And we will see you in the next one.
Thanks for watching.